Hello and welcome to Tell Me More. So now we are in our episode number 3 and we are moving out of all the slightly boring and serious conversations on how we met, how we set up, etc. We thought we'll move on to more fun and hopefully spicy topics.
Yeah.
And what better to talk about?
Rather than red flags.
Yes,
and green flags in dating as well as friendship relationships.
Yes. So we want to talk about all the red flags and green flags and beige flags and ask each other what our opinions are on these controversial situations.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll jump right into it. And this is also a way for us to get to know each other's opinions.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it'll be fun because it's completely unscripted. We are just shooting questions at each other. So let's go.
Okay. So my first question to you, Rishani, is what's a red flag that people often mistake for a green flag?
That's a tough one. So I feel like a lot of girls, especially I can't speak for guys as much, a lot of girls get really happy if their partners are very overprotective of them. कि यहाँ मत जाओ, वो मत करो, you know, घर वापस, of course your partner should ask you when you've gotten back home, but sometimes they can get a tad bit too controlling. So a girl might think that it's a green flag that my partner cares about me so much, but they should also be mindful that that her partner is not taking away agency from her. Like the guy should also respect her wisdom and understanding कि these are the people I want to hang out with, these are the life decisions I want to take. So the guy can give her suggestions but not direct how she wants to lead her life.
So basically not try to control.
Yes.
Just try to stay with them and be there.
Yeah. Just be
for
a
them,
solid friend and have your back.
Would you ever consider someone who never apologizes a red flag situation which you think is a red flag, even if they show they care?
If somebody does not apologize but you kind of see through their actions that they kind of care, right?
What I'm saying is basically you've told that person that this is the red flag that you think it is in a relationship. Even after that they don't apologize for it and they just try to show care towards you. Okay, so is it okay that they care about you and then they still don't apologize for the red flag that they completely communicated about?
Oh no, I think that's a total red flag behavior. Like it's like if somebody keeps stabbing you with a knife and putting a band-aid over it, that does not help the situation at all.
Yeah.
So I would much rather prefer that person not injure me every single time.
Yeah. And then,
I don't word like platitudes and placatory words ki haan chalo. Have you watched the movie Darlings with Alia Bhatt and
Oh yeah, yes. Darlings, yeah.
So in Darlings, that's what he keeps doing. He beats her up, does terrible things, but next morning he's like, chalo.
Oh yeah.
So that's classic predatory and abusive behavior. So
yeah.
Okay, so before we go on to the rest of the questions, I want to talk about something that is a very controversial topic on the internet. In relationships especially. In a dating scenario, in a first date scenario, who do you think should pick up the tab? Who should pay the bill?
So I honestly don't mind if it's equally split.
Yeah.
But my preference would be that the guy would pay because it just feels more romantic and more cute that the guy is making gestures like they're holding the chair for you to sit on the desk and opening the car door for you to come out.
Like full chivalrous behavior. I
want to be treated like a princess.
I think it also comes from all the movies and shows that we watch where the guys are so chivalrous and caring, and at the end of the day we want that kind of a behavior. But of course it goes both ways. But
I honestly won't mind paying my first date.
I wouldn't judge a guy if he wants to split.
Yeah.
But it would be nice if he did pick up the tab and maybe next date I can pick it up. So that would be like a nice way to go about it. And another topic that's very controversial usually. Do you think people can be friends with their exes?
No, completely not.
So we see a lot of celebrities being friendly with their exes.
So, like we see so many celebrities being so friendly with their exes. Like Amir Khan is friends with all his ex-wives.
Yeah.
Ritik Roshan and Suzanne Khan are going on trips with their current partners. So, I don't understand how they make it work. So, what is your opinion on that? Why do you think it works for them but it doesn't work for mere mortals like us?
So what I feel is, once like you've had a romantic relationship with someone, you can't go back to just being friends with them, is what I feel. You will have that sort of attraction towards them no matter what, like how many years have passed away. But I think you will have that kind of bonding also, that you shared some sort of physical intimacy, emotional intimacy as well with them. So I would not prefer like my person to be friends with their ex.
Same opinion actually. I really don't think people can go from being in a relationship to being friends, because how do you erase, like you would
I don't understand people who like who were friends before and then they are not friends, and then that person wants to come back and they're like, I don't understand those people also. So ex-friend also I would not want. Ex in relationship, so is a completely different level.
So so in Harry Potter there's a spell where you can erase somebody's memory completely. I think it's Obliviate. Please, Potterheads, don't come at me. I am a Potterhead. I have forgotten some spells. It happens. I'm getting old, my memory is getting weak. But if that spell was used and all memories were erased, I would be okay with it. That is the only circumstance where I'd be okay. Ki both people have been in a coma, they have lost their memories, it's a fresh start, then they can probably be friends. But with memories of a relationship, no.
Yeah. And also, I think you were in a relationship with that person because you felt some type of way.
Yeah.
And like you can't change that feeling altogether, is what I feel, even after like you love somebody else now.
Exactly. So some remnants of it would possibly always there. You'd have some kind of fondness or even hatred which wouldn't come with a person you've never dated. So I wouldn't want something like that.
No, I would move on from red flags to green flags, because let's make it a positive question. So what would be the green flag that you would be attracted towards while like looking at someone for the first time?
For the first time. So I don't know if this is a green flag. I think it's just what I'm attracted to. I'm attracted to people who are significantly smarter than me, somebody who's not talking too much to anyone and everyone, somebody who's a little...
So basically you're sapiosexual.
I mean that term has been overused on Bumble and Hinge a lot, so I was trying to avoid it, but I really prefer it when...
But it's YouTube, it's okay.
We are not being intellectuals here. We can use these terms.
And we are not asking for anyone to date us here as well.
Yes. So I just prefer it when the person is more well-read and is smarter and more intellectual than I am. So that's an automatic green flag to me. But if you talk about green flags on a more deeper level, like this is of course a more superficial characteristic, I think it would be like integrity. Like whether that person shows strong moral values in the face of odds, which is not something you figure out in the first meeting. So that's why it's a deeper green flag that I'd go for.
Yeah. So for me, the points that you mentioned are like, for me also they apply. But one more point that I would like to add is, if you are kind to animals, I am attracted towards you, be it any gender, because I love like animals myself, and I love to talk to them, I love to greet them with kindness, because I think that they are not treated well by a lot of humans who don't even understand why they behave. I don't even know why they behave, how they behave. And so I would be attracted to someone who like loves animals and is showering love towards animals.
That's a cute point also. Nice. So I also wanted to ask that we all know, we've all asked our girlfriends, what do you look for in a guy, what are the green flags according to you? Have you ever come across a point that other people are saying this is a green flag, but to you it's like, I don't care about it, or it doesn't matter to you?
So, what I feel is a lot of people are very much into keeping each other's privacy. Like, they would want that I would not want you to check my phone or do something.
Yeah.
And like the other gender would do the same. And that is kind of a green flag for a lot of people, so that they don't check each other's phone or be suspicious about it. But I feel like that's a red flag, because if someone tells me that I want to be private with you and have privacy from the person, you are having literally like physical and emotional intimacy. So I don't understand
somebody
that kind of person
share a life
thinking.
with, hopefully.
Yes.
True, same. So I would not be okay with it if somebody was suspicious of me and wanted to go through my phone. But I think I'm very okay with anybody, like not anybody, with a partner going through my phone.
ठीक है, मैं रुशाली आपका phone लेती
हूँ. You can also go through my phone. There are people who I want to hide my phone from. But a partner is okay. You are also on the approved list. You're on the close friends list. So, but yeah, I get what you mean. I do know a lot of couples, and it really shocks me when they don't share very critical parts of their life with their partners. Like,
I feel like I want to know everything about my partner, whoever he is talking to, and whoever,
like what's going on with his life, and what's on his mind, what is he thinking.
And even after you share everything with them, like I share a lot of things with you, but even after if you like feel the need to just like use music on my phone or play music on my phone or stuff like that, so I would not want to like snatch it from your hand and then be like, no, इसको तो मैं नहीं दूंगी, मैं नहीं play करने दूंगी इसको, मेरा phone ही कैसे लगाया हाथ के अंदर में. So I don't like that kind of behavior, and I don't like people who just say that I want privacy in my life. To their partners at least. ठीक है, friends and parents का तो I understand because you can't show everything to your friends or parents as say, but I don't think there's anything to hide from your partner.
Same, I think your life should be a complete open book to whoever your partner is. I don't think that's a controlling thing necessarily. So basically there has to be complete transparency between partners, whatever the situation is. So the question was like what other people find as green flags but you find as red flag, right? I have one to add there.
Okay.
So, whenever you ask girls what kind of a guy they would like to date or be with, people always list that, sense of humor, the guy should be like funny. I'm not saying that I want to date somebody who never laughs or does not enjoy a joke. Of course not. But basically when girls refer to these kind of guys, they're talking about guys who are like the life of a party.
Magnets.
Yes, they are chick magnets. They are the life of a party. They're like who
I did not want to use that word, but okay.
I don't condone calling women chicks, but it's a popular internet term. So we are unfortunately Gen Z people.
But it can be for a girl also. So what would you call a girl magnet?
Man magnet.
I think guy magnet sounds better.
Okay. Leaving the nomenclature for it aside. So I don't want to ever date a guy who's the life of a party sort of a person, because I feel like it goes to their head. They get too conceited and their eyes are always roving.
And they become attention seeker is what I feel like. They want to like talk to hundreds of people and then they'll be like, oh, इसके साथ तो मेरा कुछ भी नहीं है. Why do you feel something like that?
उसको फिर हर 6 महीने change करना होगा.
Genuine connection. And then he'll get bored
too easily. So I would rather have a stable, normal, rational person who is not necessarily the life of a party. And that's a red flag for me. Somebody is being too funny with everyone.
So basically two extrovert people are...
to extrovert होने के भी एक way होता है. मतलब some people are extroverted where they genuinely care about all of the people around them. But there are some extroverted people जो चिपक जाते हैं. Especially with people from the opposite gender. और उनसे थोड़ा ज़्यादा flirtatious way में बातें करते हैं. So this life of a party kind of guys tend to do it more in my experience. The sample size may be too small. This is a disclaimer. There might be great life of a party guys who are very good at heart.
kudos
Maybe
to you.
both of you are the life of the party.
Yeah, kudos to you guys. Have fun. I am boring. I want a boring partner. I mean, not a boring partner, but you know what I mean. If you don't know what I mean, then
Not too humorous.
not not frivolous.
Okay.
Not into frivolous humor, basically.
Okay. Moving on to the next question. Is being too busy a genuine excuse or a red flag for low effort?
Oh, so the OG Sakt Londa Zakir Khan has already commented on this from the male perspective.
Wow, you are having a lot of examples today. Where are you getting it from?
Wow,
कहाँ से आ रहा है ये bank?
I have my 10 hours was my screen time just for today, and it's 10 p.m. right now. So I think my relentless scrolling on Instagram is paying off for this instance. So Zakir Khan was saying that ये busy कुछ नहीं होता. कोई लड़का अगर बोल रहा है busy है, इतना काम सारी दुनिया में नहीं है. So I will defer to his opinion that इतना काम दुनिया में नहीं है. If a guy never has time for you, then he's just not that into you. If he's showing you he's not that into you, then he's not into you. Of course, if you've been with a person for a long time and you know about what his professional responsibilities are, and you can see that he's going through a tough time professionally or has some responsibilities at home, then of course you will have the common sense to give him that space and time as well. But in a new relationship, if somebody has no time for you and they're hella busy and they're not communicating also that this is when I'll get free, then I think it's a major red flag.
So even I have the same opinion. Like, I don't feel anybody in this whole world is
So busy.
too busy to not reply to your text or too busy to not talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, some days even we can understand that it's okay. Like, if you're traveling somewhere, if you're like busy in meetings or stuff like that, and if you're spending quality time with your family and then you don't want to get disturbed or something. Some days we can understand, but not every single day.
Wahi.
Then it's a complete red flag and a low effort relationship.
Yes, and we don't want to be in that kind of a situation.
Okay. So next would be, is cancelling plans last minute a red flag?
It entirely depends on why the plan is being cancelled. So just today I was telling you about it. I saw a post on the Reddit thread where a man was saying that I want
Another example. Wow. She's on a roll.
I'm on a pop culture roll today. Oh, this is not a part of pop culture. But anyway, so I was reading a post on Reddit where this man wanted to cancel his wife's birthday dinner for playing a cricket match with his buddies. He is the team captain, apparently. It's some local playing competition thing that they do. It's not like some serious league or anything. And his team members have told him to go ahead and plan his wife's birthday.
So is it his birthday or wife's birthday?
Wife's birthday.
Oh.
So wife really wants to go to a certain restaurant, and he is like कि ये restaurant में तो हम कभी भी जा सकते हैं. I have to play with my boys today. So that kind of a situation, like cancelling plan last minute, would be a bright crimson red flag.
Yeah.
But if somebody has something major come up professionally, say suddenly you get to know you've gotten a interview call for a job that you've really been hoping to get, or it's a medical emergency or it's a family emergency, then cancelling plans last minute wouldn't be a problem.
I too wouldn't mind someone cancelling plans. I would be like, yeah, let's do skincare and let's just watch Netflix and chill.
Even with your partner or
यार पार्टनर वाला थोड़ा ठीक है
थोड़ा चुभेगा वो तो
थोड़ा ऐसे चुभ जाएगा but
but
so
like
what
you wouldn't be with anybody who cancels last minute plans without telling you or
and I don't think that I would have a problem if someone is cancelling for a genuine reason. So I would not mind
monsters.
I would not mind कि मैं तो इतना तैयार हूँ कि बैठी हूँ सिर्फ तुम्हारे लिए and you are the one who's cancelling. So I would not be that Komulika bitch.
Yeah, we are not monsters, guys. Basically, we are rational, nice people. I think both of us.
Is having no social media a green flag or a red flag?
It's a beige flag. I don't care. I mean, I I used to care, but now I'm like, ठीक है तो है नहीं है तो नहीं है. I would be a little surprised that how come they have managed to resist the temptation in today's day and age. Like you're saying, no social media, as in they don't have an Instagram account or they don't post.
No Instagram.
They don't have an Instagram account, Reddit
no
account,
Instagram,
Facebook.
Snapchat, Facebook, anything. Just WhatsApp because
I would be surprised, and there would be a bit of a challenge in terms of communication because my love language is sending reels and relatable reels and meme content. So it would be a bit of a challenge. I mean, for the right person, I could figure it out. It's a beige flag. Or I think it's a pink flag. I'm not sure what a pink flag means. That's also a trending term. I think a pink flag is slight red flag.
If it comes to you and me, it's definitely a pink flag.
Yes.
Because we are pink lovers. As you can see, हम drink में pink ही पी रहे हैं.
Yes.
It is slightly on the
This is red.
red.
Oh, this is we are actually drinking beverages on theme. I am drinking hibiscus tea. I cannot show you the color, unfortunately. It's in a pink cup. She's drinking straight up beetroot juice.
Beetroot juice, yeah.
Yes. So this is very on brand for
Yeah.
today's episode. Love it.
She is the wearing pink. I have switched to purple, but yeah. Teenage years, or I would say till recently also, that if someone does not have social media, then I would like that person more, because that would mean that he is, an introvert and doesn't want
They're
to
not
socialize
affected by
and
the markers or social.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Basically,
Societal
their
norms.
locus of self-esteem is like internal rather than external. They are not reliant on external validation and social media.
Yeah.
Sounds good in theory.
With that said, I don't feel being on social media is wrong at all, because
I don't think
I
you're
have-
in a position to say that. Yeah, that's right.
Because I myself love to post on social media, not to seek validation or something, but
Yeah,
I
but
just love to share my life with a lot of people.
Yes.
Just like we are sharing it right now.
Yeah.
We are being completely honest with you guys.
Yeah.
So, I would have preferred not having a person who has social media accounts, because basically that would mean that he is an introvert and he doesn't like to socialize a lot, which would in turn mean that he's only interested in me and not talking to a lot of people.
Fair.
So
I think
from
that's
that point of view, I was thinking कि नहीं, social media नहीं होना चाहिए, but I honestly wouldn't mind to have social media ऐसा. So it's again a beige flag for me as well. Do you believe in love languages, and do they
Do they matter?
motor?
How did they feel that? Gobi motor. I should be ashamed of myself. This is why I don't want to date guys who are funny, because then they crack jokes like this.
This was a dad joke, bro.
That's true. A real funny guy wouldn't crack this. Yeah, dad joke people are okay. They are not the life of a party.
Because nobody loves them other than us.
Main storage area.
Sorry. Do you believe in love languages, and do they matter in spotting green flags?
I don't believe in love languages, but I don't think it's so deep. Sure, I like to say that my love language is words of affection, words of affirmation and gifting, and I like to say that these are my love languages, but I don't think that they matter on a deeper level. If you are vibing enough with somebody, your values are compatible, you are having a good time with each other, they care about you, I think I wouldn't focus too much on love languages.
I have a slightly different opinion.
Okay.
So, what I feel is, even if you don't have a love language, which is in parallel to what your partner has. So let's say you love gifting and I love
receiving gifts.
That would be a perfect combination. No?
That's not a love language. Receiving gifts is not a love language.
Yeah. I was about to say words of affirmation, giving words of affirmation. So, and it's like the other way around.
Yeah.
So for me, my love language is words of affirmation, but you are a gifting person.
Yeah.
And then for you, your love language is gifting, and I am a words of affirmation person. So what I believe is that you should learn each other's love
Yes.
language and start to
Reciprocate each other's feelings in
energy.
that way. Yeah.
In
Yeah,
that
for
way.
sure.
Yeah.
So you
it
have to
would
care about
make-
each other.
Yeah, it would make the other person feel a lot more cared and loved. So if like my big ऐसे बहुत बड़ी ही मेरी लव लैंग्वेज है ऐसे गिफ्टिंग आई लव गिफ्ट्स मेरे को कुछ भी लाके दे दो मेरे को बहुत पसंद आएगा
I also just like consumerism as a concept.
मुझे आप होम डेकोर ला दो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगेगा कपड़े ला दो
पर
makeup ला
कैंडी
दो
ला दो तब भी मैं खुश हो जाऊंगी यार कुछ भी नहीं चलेगा.
मेरे को एक वाटर बॉटल ला दो मैं उसमें खुश हो जाऊंगी
Same. I just like it when people buy things.
Yeah.
It's cute.
for you. So it makes you feel loved.
Yeah.
Is what it makes
Yeah,
me
the
feel
effort
loved.
is-
Yeah, the effort that they thought about you while purchasing this gift
Yes.
is what I feel is a love language.
True. So basically caring about each other enough to, reciprocate each other's energies,
Yeah.
like you said. Yeah, makes sense. So I actually came across another question that I think is quite fun. Do you think if two people are like very good friends before getting into a relationship, is that a green flag or does it like kill the spark? Do you think best friends should date?
I do feel like it's a green flag because मतलब ये कि मैं कैसे बोलूं फिजिकल इंटीमेसी बहुत टाइम तक नहीं जिंदा रहती है
Hey, that's true. Like physical attraction comes and goes. It ebbs and flows, right?
yeah
It doesn't necessarily fade and go away, but like one day you might not be
physically attracted to that person.
so basically on one particular day you might not think of physical attraction at all towards anybody. You might not be physically attracted to anybody, but you would still want to be friends with your partner to be able to chill with them, to vibe with them. So I do definitely think being friends is a great thing, but a lot of people are really afraid of getting into a relationship with their best friends because they think that it will ruin the friendship and that chemistry will not be there, that butterflies will not be there.
And there'll be no romantic element in that.
Another pop culture reference I have for you. So you watch Gossip Girl. So
Yeah.
when Blair,
Both of us are Gossip Girl lovers.
of course, not a surprise to anybody at all who has seen us for half an hour. So in Gossip Girl, there's a point where Eleanor tells Blair that having butterflies, like when she was married to her first husband, she had felt butterflies, but having butterflies is not necessarily a good thing because
I heard a study
Yeah.
about this.
yeah,
Okay, please
so
continue.
it means that you're feeling anxious and insecure.
Yeah, exactly.
With the right person, it should just like flow and you should feel comfortable.
with them.
So with a best friend, you don't have butterflies because you're stable, you're happy, you're calm.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good foundation for a relationship.
Yeah. And what I feel like butterflies just go away with time.
Yes, and they should. Butterflies also make you feel very uncomfortable in my
Yeah, like
opinion.
your heart starts pumping very.
I don't want to have a fight or
Loud.
flight response to love.
Yeah.
I want to feel happy
Yeah.
and calm only.
Yeah, I don't want to be. Oh shit, उसको देख के तुम.
Yeah, basically,
क्या बोल रही
I don't want a partner to make me feel the same way as, I don't know, a discount at a makeup store does or something. Yeah.
अच्छा. A discounted makeup store makes you feel anxious. I don't think so.
Anxious because woohoo, ये खत्म हो जाएगा मुझे.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
It will end.
Yeah, like you're scared that this will go away. This is like a once in a lifetime opportunity maybe, and I'll have to grab it.
Which
With a
comes, by the way, every single month.
yes. अभी भी नायका में चल रहा है पिंक
being a Nykaa privy member, I know this.
Yes, पिंक फ्लुएंस सेल, ये पिंक फ्राइडे सेल, कितने पिंक सेल्स ये लोग बनाएंगे मुझे नहीं पता, but good on them. We love pink, we love makeup. So anyway, tangent we had gone on. But yeah, so being with a partner shouldn't make you feel like that, oh, I need to do this or this person will go away or run away. I need to latch on to this person or I need to impress him, otherwise he'll leave. So yeah, I wish I had a very somber
You were
thought.
having a very claw moment.
Yeah, laughing with all my double triple chin out.
It's okay. We listen, we don't judge.
I judge a lot, guys. I don't. I'm a nice person.
But that was a very nice point that you brought up, the butterflies one.
Yeah.
Is being a great listener the most underrated green flag?
For me, yes, because I talk a lot. I talk so much that we set up a camera.
But
to
then
make
you are the red flag here.
I mean, to the right person. It can be.
To the right person, you are the red flag.
No, to the right person, it's a beige flag. Or,
Okay.
or I'm entertaining them. It's a green flag. They don't like to talk. They don't have entertainment. Wow, I am really painting my ideal guy as the most lonely, sad person. He can't go to parties, can't be an extrovert, can't crack jokes. पूरा दिन बैठ के मेरी बात सुनते हैं. I'm coming across as quite the shrew and like quite a horrible
And मैं क्या
person.
करूँगी? I will be the butterfly. मैं इधर उधर फुदकती रहूँगी. मैं सबके पास जाके gossip लेके आऊँगी और फिर अपने उस lonely partner को बताऊँगी because he doesn't have a life.
This is a misrepresentation of life itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely want somebody to be a good listener, and I would also like to be a good listener. And I think I am. If somebody talks, I do listen. I just talk
For some seconds.
No, I just talk more. I just end up talking more. If somebody has a genuine thing to talk about, I think I can take a step back and listen.
We'll see.
That sounded very threatening.
It was.
We will
So
see.
I feel it's a green flag only in a person if that person wants to listen to what I have to say. Even after that does not make any sort of sense. Like मेरा ऑफिस गॉसिप जान के वो क्या ही कर लेगा बंदा, बट वो फिर भी शांति से बैठ के सुन रहा है कि हाँ मेरे मैनेजर ने इसके मैनेजर के साथ में क्या किया, उसने इधर से क्या किया, फिर मेरे साथ में क्या हुआ, हाउ इज हिज लाइफ गेटिंग अफेक्टेड.
ये तो मैंने भी सुना है और मैं सुनती भी रहती हूँ. आई एम वेरी वाकिफ विद ऑल द कैरेक्टर्स इन योर
You are
ऑफिस.
a big green flag only.
Thanks. I just wanted you to say that I am also a good listener because I've already misrepresented the situation.
You are Rushan.
कि मैं ये बोलती रहती हूँ मेरे lonely, boring, humorless partner को सुनाती रहती. ये सच नहीं है. We are obviously just fooling around, guys.
This is the last question that we are going to ask. How important is emotional availability? Can someone learn it, or is it a built-in green flag? So let me go first. It is very important for your partner to be emotionally available for you.
Yes.
थोड़ा serious हो रहा है ये.
ठीक है. We are also mature people. We don't just watch Gossip Girl and force people to listen to us. We are also serious, wise people.
But I feel like it can be a built-in trait also.
Yeah.
It is not necessarily to be like a must-have for me to just. So there are two things like good to haves and must-haves in a relationship. So it can be built in even after getting into a relationship. Like
it can be an acquired thing for sure.
Because you don't know how I want you to be emotionally available.
Correct.
Like, do I want you to
listen to your trauma dumping, or do you want solutions, or do you want
give solutions, or like give more motivation
or just
to me,
listen
or just
to
like,
you. One doesn't know. So a person who cares enough about you, they will just learn that over time.
Yeah. Exactly.
True. But emotional availability stems from one's basic emotional quotient, right? So if a person is emotionally aware, so I don't think I can turn a complete man-child into an emotionally available person just because he's into me. I think that person would also have to be emotionally available and aware of, say, his mother, his father, his siblings if he has any. So that kind of a person can learn my emotional needs and respond accordingly. But a person who has never cared about anybody's emotions in their entire life, I think it would be a challenge. I am not Preeti and the guy is not Kabir Singh. I cannot convince any guy to love me and turn his whole life around me. People don't change essentially is what I'm trying to say. That's it, guys, for today's video. We did not delve into the friendship aspect of it at all. I think we're gonna need a part 2.
Yeah. Definitely, please comment down below if you want a part 2. We would love to talk about friendships or even
more relationship
red flags
questions,
in more relationships, like have parental relationships as well.
Yes.
So
would love that. Mothers don't comment. But others, please leave your comments about the questions you might want us to talk about. So see you next time.
See you guys later. Bye bye.